Hello, it's Tisha. I'm back with another video. Unfortunately, I have combed out my hair, so there's no more gel. Wow, yay! No. Anyway, oh God, this is crazy. Um, so as promised, I am back with another long-term care horror terrible video. I call it horror video due to the fact, not, I feel like it's just scary what goes on, and I don't know how I would define horror, but I would say it like that. Okay, so as said, the worst situations is the racial count in long-term care, where in long-term care, you're always short. People call in, then in in some seriousness, if you don't have good CNAs, you just don't have a good facility. So in any event, there was one night, like I said, I work nights. I came in and we were terribly short, terribly short. Now this goes back to why I put emphasis on how and who they hire in these places, and when they're hired. Upon hiring, are they trained? Do they know protocols? Clear the hall when you call in the paramedics. Clear the hall, whatever. We have to work together. Full code, DNR, whatever. So in this case, we were short, and I believe we had three. They were able to get one more person came in, but according to them, she was coming in at 4 o'clock. So I'm like, well, what's the use of her coming in? Because if she's not coming in right now, then we're left with all these patients in the midst of it. So I guess we would have, I think I had like 32 patients. So I work myself down as normal. Look at the high risk patients, which everybody in long term care is considered high risk. So I look at the high risk and I work myself down. And so I check my patients. But then you got people that hear about the one rounder. The one rounders, when I tell you they old school, they come in there and they do one rounders. And then you got the LVNs, they come in, they don't check no vitals. They don't give, you tell them a patient need medication, that patient will holler for medication for like 3 or 4 hours. So, in any event, they ask you to sit next to your room. They sit next to your room, just monitoring your patients, getting up through through the shift or whatever, and you're monitoring your patients. So, in any event, I sat down, grabbed my coffee, because I figured I wasn't going to start about 2 o'clock because I had over 30 something patients. In the event of all of this, I hear one of my, I think it was about, maybe it could have been about 2 hours later, one of my coworkers come down the hall. Oh, Tisha, can you help me? I said, okay, I'll go down there. Can you help me? I said, I'm coming. What room? So she called out the room, go down there. Mind you, when I say one rounder, that means they don't check patients. They just don't do anything. You can't do two complete rounds on over 30 something patients. And so I go with her, and she says, "Look at her, how she looks." I said, "She looked like she dead." Did you check her? No, we have too many patients. Unfortunately, she wasn't the only one to check the patient. Even though they said the patient was, put there to pass or expire, you say you didn't check your patient. So you wasn't monitoring the patient. Everybody know in long-term care, you don't cut off a light on the person that you expect to go. So then I'm standing there, I'm like, okay, we'll go get the charge nurse. She say, she go and get the charge nurse. Charge nurse say, oh, and look at her. And I'm like, when last time you checked this patient? Oh, well, I just passed by and looked in the room. So both of you guys didn't check the patients. You mean to tell me you didn't know around? So the CNA says, we got so many patients. I'm so stressed out. I'm like, but did you do a round? Did you even look and cut on the light? Then you got the charge nurse. Charge nurse say, I just peeked in the room. You peeked in the room? So you mean to tell me you didn't go in the room and check the patient, but you just peeked? So I sit up there and I said, you know what? This is so pathetic. So then later, so then once everything had ceased, the paramedics had came, and of course they roll them over, check the back of their back. It was like, oh, she been there for a while. Unfortunately, she was going there, and she was. They said she was going to pass anyway, but certain things can be prevented. That's why I say this is long-term care horror stories, because the things that we see as caregivers, the people that are worked in these departments, no matter the title, they are put here and they are not correctly trained at all, period. It's for us, like with this situation with the coronavirus right now that's going on. I think that a lot of things could be better. um, Me personally, I don't think that, you know, certain people, I think different people, even though we have to avoid contact, I think certain people need to be reevaluated and retrained. Um, I also think that a lot of things could be avoided. So I'm just telling you, the reason why I say this is long term care horror chronicles, horror stories, is because you put your loved ones up in here and now they are now locked down in the facility and you can't get in. You can't get in. So, who wants to get a call in the middle of the night and you know you can't walk in and check your patient? I mean, check your family because you're locked out of facility, and then now you now hear my family is deceased. Now, depending on the situation, I won't expose the person. I won't say anything. But depending on the situation, they said that she was there to expire. She was expected, but your loved ones are not being properly checked out in these cases. Until then, I will be back. And if you get a chance, you can subscribe to my video so when I sit up there and I get on, you'll know that I'm coming on. But until then, we'll talk later.